an effective weapon. Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the Chamber of the Wraith. My name is Brian, and today we're going to be doing an instructional video for you enterprising streamers out there, myself included. Now, earlier today, somebody I follow on YouTube and on Twitter, his name is Ragnarok. If you have not seen any of his videos, go watch them. I'll put a link to his channel in the description. He is one of the scariest Scarecrow players I have ever seen, and he posts things like tech videos, reaction videos, breaking things down, and he streams fights quite frequently. But recently he put on Twitter this tweet, which is basically saying, when it comes to streaming, you can't be low budget, bad at the game, and boring altogether. Pick a struggle. And the sentiment there is that you can't, if you have to struggle, don't put yourself in a situation where you are burdened by 3 things at once. Or in this case, don't force yourself in a situation where everything is working against you. That's not gonna work. So what I've decided that I'm going to do is to kind of bounce off of this and give you enterprising streamers a few tips in order to kind of make your streams better. Now, understand, of course, that there are some things that I cannot change. I can't change your personality, for example, even though normally having a high energy, very talkative personality does help. If you're not naturally like that and you can't force yourself to do that, that's going to be tough for you on streaming, and I can't change that. Nor can I really change how you budget or your financial situation, basically. I can't change the fact that if you go check to check and you just want to do streaming as a hobby or to kind of make things interesting, I can't really help you with that. Most importantly, I can't help you get good at games because I don't know what kinds of games you play, number 1. And number 2, at least with fighting games, I am horrifically mediocre. So we're just going to cut that there. But what I can help you with is to not be boring. At least I can try and help you with that, and I can try and make your stream as entertaining as you can make it. And I've got a few key steps in order to do this. Starting with number 1, timing. Now, you would probably be interested in knowing why I say timing is the first step. And that's because timing in and of itself is the single easiest thing that you can do to make your streams better. Trust me. The best time that you want to stream is when anybody and everybody that you know is available. Here's why that sounds obviously key, but I'm going to run through that anyway just in case you're still not quite sure. The main reason why you want to stream when everybody's going to be able to see you is you don't want to stream too early because people are getting ready to go to work, most likely, or are sleeping in order to get ready for their night shifts or whatever. But you also don't want to stream too late because everybody's asleep, and nobody's going to be able to watch your stream if they're asleep. So, what can you do to remedy this situation? Well, I would recommend that you start your streams around or just after people tend to have dinner, which is between 6 and 8 p.m. local time for you. That's kind of when you'll want to aim to have your stream, is right after dinner would be an excellent time for you to kind of just hop in, say how's it going, and stream your game of choice. You can also stream a little bit earlier if that works better for you. Like, if you're streaming at 4 or 5 o'clock, that's still great because that's when people are getting home and getting ready for dinner, and they might want to just listen to you, pop into the stream and listen and see what's going on and how things are working from there. So really, anytime, the best times to do it is after work, after dinner, and try to kind of aim your streams to be before bed, but I understand that some of you guys are night owls, so that's also a good time to do it. But optimally, you want to aim for between 4 and 8 p.m. within your local time, when everybody's getting home and such. Now it's time to take a look at the next step. And this arguably is the biggest step. The technical stuff behind it. Now, of course, the technical stuff is a little bit dicey because it falls under the budgetary issues. But trust me, there is a $50 to $60 option that can seriously make your streams just that little bit better so that you can start to build up a following. And what is that step? Get one of these. Not a phone, but try and pay attention to what's on the screen. I'm trying my best to kind of collect that. Do you see that red light and that black bar that's on there? I'll admit it wasn't the best way to collect it, but this is the only way I could think of because I don't have any portable mirrors on hand. It's get yourself a PlayStation camera, one that's built for the PS4. It's only $50 or $60. There's a specific port in the back for this thing. Once you have it plugged in, you have both camera and microphone in one package. So that alone is going to be a huge help for you because people are going to see your face. And if they see your face, they're going to be able to kind of connect with you more, and that's going to be important. Plus, they'll be able to hear what you're saying. You're not having to rely on, like what I did when I was streaming a couple of years ago before I had this thing. Having a laptop connected to the stream so that when people comment, you had to type in order to respond. That doesn't work. It doesn't work nearly as well as you would like it to. Trust me, this is just a better way to do it. But there are other things that you can do in order to make your stream better in any way, shape, or form that you can. And that's by actually diving into the settings of your PS4 and messing around with them. Because there are ways that you could totally make your stream not only more accessible, but more unique, more entertaining, and most importantly, more watchable. Because, I mean, entertaining and watchable are kind of tied into each other, but if you get those things, your stream is already doing pretty good. So, it's that sort of framework that really makes things work for streamers. So how do you do that? Well, let's have a look at some images, and then I will kind of talk over them and explain exactly what you're supposed to do in order to kind of make sure that streaming is optimal for you. Take it away! Me? Now, the first thing that we're going to want to do is go to your settings. It's very easy. All you have to do is go up from when you turn on your PlayStation and go to your suitcase icon over there, or briefcase, or whatever the hell. There are your settings. We're going to just jump right on in and go into sharing and broadcast. You'll have to scroll a little bit to find it, but you'll find it no problem. And then from there, look at that, there's broadcast settings. That is what you want to go to, because that is where we're going to be able to do stuff. You will say advanced settings. That's the only option you got, just jump right in. Make sure that this box right here is checked if you have a PlayStation camera. You won't be able to select it if you don't. But we're going to assume for the rest of this tutorial that you have a PlayStation camera. Make sure that box is checked so that you have video of your face in there. And then we go right inside to camera video settings. So we're going to break down each of these from the top, one step at a time, starting with position. Position allows you to choose where you want to put the feed from your PlayStation camera, on the lower right or the lower left or the upper right. You can change this at any time before the stream starts, so that you during the streaming of the game, so you can make sure that you don't cover up any health bars or anything. Then you'll want to choose the size of your feed. You can go with a basic small, or my personal favorite, wide, because it obstructs as little as possible, and it also makes sure you can get more of the camera feed. Medium is also a really nice option, but my honest opinion, don't go large, not unless you really want to cover up a lot of your screen or use a particular cutout, which we'll explain later. Now, the flip horizontally option is unchecked automatically, so if you'd like, make sure that you check that. And then we're going to go to Find Face, because right now you've been looking at my shirt, but if you hit Find Face and the room's bright enough, all of a sudden, that's how you find your face from the PlayStation camera. It does this automatically, so you don't have to worry too much. Now you can choose from a circular cutout, which, as you can see, on large works best because it cuts out much of the background, so that if you have a lot of people in your house or you don't want certain things to be seen, this is how you do it. You can also do an auto cutout, but I wouldn't recommend messing around with this too much unless you have a particularly bright section of room, because that's kind of how it works. And then you have Chroma Key. This I would only really recommend if you know how to do Chroma Keys for stuff like Premiere Pro or something, because Chroma Keys allow you to do blue or green screen work for your background / cut thing, which is great. except if you don't have a green screen, it's kind of useless, so we're not going to bother with that today. Now, another thing that you can do is change the effect from comic book to pixelate to scan lines if you want to do a horror game, or even the classic toy camera. But I wouldn't really recommend messing with these too much. So we're just going to go right down to your basic settings right at the bottom there under effect. You have brightness, which shows how bright your picture is, contrast, which adjusts the contrast from your PlayStation camera feed, and transparency, which changes how much of your feed is going to be shown due to transparency. Make sure that you include microphone audio in broadcasts as well so that you can be heard. You can also do it in video clips and share party audio as well if you want, but I would not recommend this, just at least for now. And then we're going to go to display message for spectators and spectators comment. Check that if you want the basic PS4 loadout that just kind of comes with it. I just kind of typed in a random ass message there to kind of give you an idea of how long your message at the bottom there can be if you choose to have a message. But if we're being honest here, don't bother with having a super long one. Just go with something short like, welcome to my stream, or it's my birthday today. And what's neat is that you can even choose the color of that little banner under your screen. I go with purple because it's my favorite. Now, this is a feature that I have not personally used yet, but that could come in really handy if you happen to be visually impaired. It's called Enable Comments to Speech. It just basically means that any English United States, or I'm assuming Japanese, comments that are left on your stream will be spoken to you so that you can hear what is said instead of trying to read it if you're visually impaired. Now, here's a big one for you community hogs who love to be in your PlayStation communities. You can choose to link the community to your broadcasts. That way, community members, which works especially well with large communities, can go and check out your stream. This is huge if you want to expand your audience through your community. If, say, you're in a Call of Duty Modern Warfare Remastered community and you have a Call of Duty Modern Warfare Remastered stream going on. It's perfect if you want to do something like that. Now, you have three services to stream from: Twitch, YouTube, and Dailymotion. But since I don't have a Dailymotion account like 90% of the internet doesn't, we're not going to bother with Dailymotion today. But if you're one of the few who has a Dailymotion account, let me know so that you can kind of add some of your tips for Dailymotion streaming. Now, if you're a Twitch streamer, you obviously have your title and your options for quality, which are 360p, 540p, and 720p, high and standard. I would recommend unequivocally 100% go for 720p, even if it's just standard, because your PlayStation 4 will natively come with a capture card that captures all gameplay at 720p, 30 frames per second. Or, if you are live streaming, you could go at 60 frames per second like a lot of games these days do. The problem with going 60 FPS is that gameplay recording will pause while you broadcast, so you can't record gameplay while you're streaming. So if you happen to have a really cool highlight, you're going to have to just leave it on Twitch and then edit out the highlight at a later date. Also, don't forget that you can check your include video, microphone audio, and display message, i.e. your stream layout thing, at any time from your stream, both on Twitch and YouTube. Just a handy little tip to keep in mind. Now, once you've titled and put your quality in, and you're on Twitch, you can just go right on down and check it and click on either of those share link things. This really only works if you have a Twitter account and a Facebook account linked to your PlayStation account. Once you do that, though, your PlayStation will automatically send out a link to your stream on those services. Like, hey, check out my Injustice 2 stream, for example. And from there, people can go in, especially if you have a fairly large Twitter following or Facebook following, they can go, oh, he's streaming, I'm going to go right to YouTube from here. And with Facebook, if you go into your Facebook settings, you can even choose which options are available to a Facebook audience. Do you want it to be public so you can get as many people as possible? Or do you just kind of want to keep it to your friends so you don't have any weirdos show up and try and hit on you on stream? That actually happened to me once. That was weird. But once you have your little comment for your Twitter and Facebook, you're good to go. A quick side note a quick thing about the description. I have just quickly jumped over to YouTube. The YouTube description that is there is unfortunately, the description, that is your channel description. So because I have the full channel description, I would just delete it, get it out of the way, and then you're good to go. Quick side note about the messages thing. It was at that little white bar shows how much you have, and it was because I had Twitter on. If I had Twitter off, it would just be the 1,000 character limit on Facebook. Now, like YouTube, or like Twitch, sorry, YouTube does have options for your quality, but it's 360p high and standard, and 720p low, standard, and high 60 FPS. So there's technically 4 options for 720p, but at the very least, pick a 720p. Nobody wants to see 360p streaming, believe me. It's a little unfortunate that 1080p is not an option, but work with what you got. This is what we're going with. This is what we're trying to do, is just us work with what we got in order to make our streaming as good as possible. And then, once you have all of that ready to go, you can even start to type in the most important thing for YouTube streaming, tags. Seriously, tags. You can see even an example up there. Hashtag PS4 Live, PlayStation 4, Sony Interactive Entertainment, Injustice 2. And there's even a check mark thing there to automatically add your online ID, so that your online ID, when they look up Wraithblade115, for example, oh, I can go type in, oh, he's streaming right now, fantastic. But tag your things. Trust me. And do as I say and not as I do. And I'm going to be completely honest with you here. The reason why I made that mention right at the end there is because I'm kind of lazy and I want to get to streaming as quickly as possible, so I don't do tags because have you tried typing on this thing? It's quite cumbersome, even if you're trying to use the touchscreen or the touchpad in order to make things faster. But there is a faster way if you really want to do those tags, which I highly recommend. There's an app called PlayStation Second Screen. You can actually find it from the PlayStation app on your phone. I just downloaded it, and then you can see here again. Sorry for that screen-on-screen stuff. You'll understand that. You can do 4 key things: control the PS4, use it as a second screen, and most importantly here, enter text on the PS4. So what you're going to want to do is you want to connect this device to the same network as your PS4. All right, and I think I already did some of this, but I'll probably just do this if I have not done it already. I'll just go back. Powered on, yes, fantastic. So I'll connect to my PS4 from here. Sorry if I'm rambling. You know me, I don't script these things. So, boom. I just got a notification on my PS4 that I connected through second screen. So now I can choose to, disconnect second screen or alter my power. So I'm going to go second screen. And then you can see right at the top there, the middle icon. Sorry if it's hard to see. That is your keyboard. You go in there, and then it'll say, when prompted to enter text on the PS4, you can use this screen. And you know what that means? You're typing with your PS4. This means that you will be able to type messages faster and type clips fast and type tags faster for your broadcast. This is really huge, and this kind of synergy is key to streamers. Professional streamers connect their laptop to their device, to their TV, to all of this stuff to make sure that this connectivity and broadcasting is working fantastically. This is kind of the baby step towards that, using your smartphone to type your tags so that people can find you on your stream, or even read and respond to comments off of your phone. That is awesome. Well guys, I hope you really enjoyed this video on how to make your streams just a little bit better on a dime. If you have any other tips, especially if you're a Dailymotion user who is somehow able to stream their PlayStation stuff on Dailymotion, I would really like to hear what you guys have to say, because I don't know anybody who has a Dailymotion account. And a quick recap for those of you who don't, or who kind of was like, what is he even talking about? Step 1, time your stream so that you can hit the maximum possible audience. That's huge. Step 2, get a PlayStation camera. Seriously, it's Christmas time, ask for one for Christmas. They're like $60. They might even be on a really nice sale right now. It's worth considering if you want to make your stream better. Step 3, go to your settings, go to your broadcast settings and mess around with them in order to get the kind of streaming experience that you want to exude. If you're a horror streamer, put some scan lines on your picture-in-picture thing, and have your circular cutout so that you can make it extra spooky. Don't do that voice ever. Or if you are really creative and happen to have a green screen available, make use of that. See what you can do with that in order to, green screen the hell out of it. I assume that when it green screens, by the way, it just cuts out the background so that it's just you dancing around in the background. But if you can make it work, make it work. And finally, and most surprisingly, I would argue, use your smartphone. Seriously, use your smartphone in conjunction with your PS4 in order to get the best streaming experience possible. I just realized I sounded like a marketing executive there for a second. I am terribly sorry. So I hope you guys were watching. I'm thanking Ragnarok in advance for letting me use his tweet as a reference in order to kind of get this video jump started. And as always, don't forget to be awesome, friends.